Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, December 15, 2020. So, as we look at our bigger time frame or our longer time frame, we've just still got back down to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days. 17 trading days of distribution, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 basically above. So we got 17 to 9, 10, now working on 11, right? That we're just basically holding above this area of, might as well round it off to 36, 35, right? We dipped into a little bit on Friday there, and now, on Monday, come back up. So Tuesday, we're going to open up. I'll go ahead and turn this off as we look at it right now. We're going to, or turn extended on, I should say. We're going to open up right in the middle of this bar again. So really, it's still status quo in this range. You can see we've been chopping underneath the top side of this. There's 4 days of balance up here. We've trapped down below. Now this is our fourth day, getting caught back below. So we could, start making it back up. I would really pay attention to Friday's high still, which is going to come in right around 36.81 quarter as a potential lid if we continue up that way. And I would expect a little bit of retracement this morning, and we'll see, where that's going. So looking at the a little bit of the level fours today, 35.32 up to 37.48. Again, we're unlikely to trade, either end of the extremes. And really looking, there's a lot of resistance getting all the way up just to, 36.05 basic, or 37.05, excuse me. There's a lot of resistance just getting back up to here, and we had a lot of value. So overhead supply is really going to start coming back into fashion once we clear 36.75s, right? So about another 10 points. That's where we're going to struggle, starting around 71 to 74 half, basically, for the ES. Looking at all the indexes, and I couldn't have caught it more wrong yesterday with the Russell being the Nasdaq being the weakest link, right? It definitely outperformed yesterday as far as who was the weakest link and who wasn't, right? So looking at it now, and you can see it's just back on. It's already back above yesterday's high, and we'll see if that continues after the bell. Uh, you know, One thing to note is, where the overnight traders push it, that's almost like one session, right? And then when the opening bell rings, that's another session that we look at. So basically, inside of value, above value and the previous day's high, and inside of value. So we have three indices, sitting right inside of value. Looking at the ES, basically we went into extensions on a micro level just for the session, right? These aren't Jack's draws necessarily. These are my draws of what I'm looking at this morning coming into the bell, just on a micro level for the session. But basically around just before 5 a.m. Eastern time, we went into extensions. We completed that extension, right? So we're either going to get a deeper pullback or go into micro extensions to extensions, which wouldn't that be fun, up to 73, 74. So right now you can look at both of them. That anchor I'm looking at is 36.50.75 up to now the high of 36.68 half as one possible draw, but we're coming back up on that level again, right? That profit target. So we could end up, easily going up. And the neg 100 for this is 36.79 quarter. So looking at the Nasdaq, it's into extensions, basically from right around 12,475 half, up to highs, right? And it could be into a micro extension even from the high of 12,530 up to high, right? But very aggressive coming out of these lows for both the ES and the Nasdaq. Looking at the Russell, it looks a little bit more of a less aggressive sequence, but it's still very aggressive, right? If we were to look at this on its own, right? And its extension is starting from, on a micro level, from 1960 up to high. So bulls have it in there. So one thing I'm going to be watching is if these little micro extensions, right, when they start breaking, we could get a little bit better of a pullback this morning. Otherwise, we're just chopping around. Remember, FOMC is tomorrow afternoon. I don't know really what weight they have in the market anymore. I think the printing press is still running fine from what we see. So I don't see too much going on with that. So looking at the Russell again, getting back and holding above 1925.80 just for basic support and resistance, and you could even probably have a minor level, excuse me, at 1931.40, and holding above that. Otherwise, it's back down to more than likely, and we could add a sub level on here at 1921.30. That should be the low for the bulls if they are going to remain with their horns out today. So as we look at the ES, again, we went through all their levels, so no sense to rehash that. Looking at the Nasdaq, right, it's above this 12,530, which is a more important line in the sand now. And I'm not going to throw it on here, but you can see that basically yesterday's high, which we're above because we're above yesterday's range, right? That's going to be important, and that's going to get you back up to, I think, 12,590 half is going to be the area that's interesting to me, up to 12,601 half. I'll be watching that area this week to see if it can, bust through those zones. And last but not least, looking at the Dow, it's still struggling to get back above 29,006 or 29,967. Remember, the Dow did lose 100 points on rollover, so it's got 100 points to make up. So if you add that 100 points to this, it's basically at 30,040 right now. So it had the most delta in the contracts between December and March. So above there is 30,051, basically up another 110 points. And down below, I've got 29,904. So looking at all the indices, really putting a wrap on the thoughts for this morning, right? Let's watch these little micro extensions. When they break, that's when you can possibly, if you want to, put on some shorts for a little bit of a target down, or wait on that pullback to the next set down to get long. Otherwise, it's still just inside a bounce for everything except for the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq's going to be the one to watch to see if it breaks. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.